Here we are in southern Costa Rica. We're at Finca 6, the archaeological site where they have the stone spheres. As you can see, we've got the mountains in the background. We're not too far from Palmar Sur and Palmar Norte and Sierpe. In fact, the road just behind us is the road out to Sierpe. But anyway, we're going to go inside and see what these stone spheres are all about. Finca 6 is in the middle of a banana plantation. It was the 6th farm, Finca 6. The unusual thing about Finca 6 is it's got an incredibly modern architecture for the building. Looks like we're coming up upon it right now. And here we are at Finca 6. I think it costs $4 to go in. And here's your typical tourist coming to explore. She's well prepared. She's got a hat for the sun and some water. We're walking through part of a jungle here, probably mostly old banana plants, but just to show you, there's a tiny little footbridge that we have to walk across in order to get into the archaeological site. You can see my companion, she's very careful to get across the bridge. We're at our first stop here. Not a lot to see quite yet, but accept this extraordinary butterfly. Look at that. Oh, disappearing. There she goes. And there goes my companion. She's heading to the first site of the spheres. Here we are. This is a working banana plantation. These are the, I guess you call them the rails or something like that, the trolley system. Probably the very first zip line in all of Costa Rica, and how it transports the bananas. They're not really cables though. They're actually more just like metal posts. And here's our first bola right here. Pretty cool. This is where one of the villages or the structures were. And here is where structure 2 was. I'm not sure if you can see that sign there. But all along the trail they have these little signs that tell you exactly what's going on at each location. And apparently you can even have guides, like bird guides. They're looking for birds. And there's my companion coming from behind that tree. She's a bird watcher, so she's going to probably take some time to get over here.
I've seen so many squirrels on one place.
So this is the walkway to where some of the spheres are lined up. And we've come into a pocket of squirrels. They're probably the red-tailed squirrels, fighting a little bit. So we must be getting near something, because here's a sign and here is a picnic table in the shade. And here are the spheres. This is how they were originally found. You see they're just barely sticking up out of the ground. Standing on one now. I shouldn't be doing that. There's my companion heading into the shade. So you come down this little path to a little clearing where there's probably 10 or so of these balls here. Spheres, sorry, spheres. Very important to call them spheres.
Not bolas.
This is where the spheres have been recovered, the recovery site. They're usually in the ground, probably 3-4 feet, maybe 1.5 meters. But you can see they're varied in all their sizes. These are about some of the smallest ones I've ever seen right here. Give you an idea of, they're probably, I don't know, 2.5 feet wide. Where these big ones are probably, this is the biggest one. That's out of the ground here. It's probably 4.5 feet wide. There's a nice one over there. You can see they've mounded up some more rocks to stabilize it a little bit.
Or they're made been some erosion here. You know? Do you think they just rolled them down and put rocks up?
Who?
Bianca, no es esta.
So we finished our tour of Finca 6. One word of advice, come early because it gets really hot here. It's January 29th, which is the beginning of the dry season, so it's not as hot as it will get. So that's our word of advice. We hope you enjoyed the tour of Finca 6 and the archaeological site of everything that we've seen. So if you're coming down this highway from Palmar Sur, you'll see this sign right next to the palm field, and then you'll see this bridge. But you want to turn before you get there down this little dirt road to Finca 6. So once again, sign, bridge, turn.